it's Jordan from Fit Grind, and today we're going over the 5 best ab exercises and core exercises. Summer's coming soon, so if you want that six-pack ab look, you need to be training your abs in the gym. As we all know, your abs are going to come from a combination of your training and your diet. So abs are a muscle just like any other muscle, like your biceps or your quads. You need to strengthen them in order to see progress. But you also need to make sure that you're eating right. If there's a layer of fat over your abs, say you develop your abs and do all these exercises, but there's a layer of fat covering those, you're still not going to see your abs. So today we're kind of going over the 5 best ab exercises that I recommend, that I use a lot with clients. We'll go over how to do each exercise, and these are going to be the 5 best that I would recommend. Before we get started, as always, check us out at fitgrindapparel.com. We have full men's and women's line. These are the men's performance joggers. These aren't available yet, but these are coming soon. We're doing a couple alterations to them. These are super awesome, really great material. But like I said, check us out at fitgrindapparel.com. If you use the discount code in the description, enjoy10, you will save 10% off of your entire purchase. We also have a spring sale coming up this weekend too as well that is 25% off of everything. So. Also, if you use gym subs or you're looking to try gym supplements, use the code FITGRIND at checkout on gymsupplementscience.com. If you use that code FITGRIND, you'll save 15% off your entire order. So, with that said, let's get to the video. So, 5 exercises, the best ab exercises. The first one that we're going to start off with, and this is my personal favorite, we're going to start off with the hanging leg raise. Now, one of the reasons why I love this exercise is because it's a really good challenging exercise for not only your core, but it's also going to strengthen your grip. There's so many different variations of this one that you can do, and really the sky's the limit. You can start off with just a hanging leg raise, bent knee raises. You can progress it all the way up to a toes to bar. You can start doing round the worlds. There's a lot of different variations of this exercise that you can do. And that's why it's also so great. Is one, it's going to help you with variety and kind of spice things up, but you can always be working towards something. If you're starting off with those hanging knee raises, you can progress to a leg raise, and then you can progress to a knee to elbow, then you can progress to toe to bars, like you do toe to bar pulses. There's so many different variations of it, and that's why I really love it. So starting off with the leg raise, a couple things to focus on first. So first thing is just make sure that you are on that pull-up bar and you're setting your shoulder and we're directly underneath the pull-up bar. So we don't want to start from the pull-up bar and we're away from that pull-up bar. We want to make sure that we're directly under that pull-up bar and we're actually going to set your shoulder. And that's going to help provide a lot of stability for that leg raise. And by doing that, it's going to keep you from swinging. So if you're doing toes to bars or doing leg raises or whatever you're doing, you want to avoid that swing. And one cue that I always tell people is, imagine like there's a piece of glass in front of you and behind you, and you want to avoid any swinging to help not break that piece of glass. So hop on the pull-up bar, set your shoulder, make sure your body's nice and rigid, and you're going to lift your legs and really focus on using your abdominal muscles to lift those legs. Whether you're doing a bent knee raise, a straight leg raise, you're doing a full toe to bar, actually use the abdominal muscles to do that movement, and that's going to help you strengthen your abs so much faster. So this is what a couple reps look like. So that is the leg raise. I showed you a couple different variations. I started off with bent knee, straight leg, knee to elbow, and that full toe to bar. So that is exercise number 1 in the 5 best ab exercises. All right, so exercise number 2 is going to be the hollow hold, or any variation of the hollow body hold. This exercise is awesome. I use this one pretty much every day. I use it with warm-ups. It's also a good exercise to just focus on actually using your abdominal muscle. It's a great start. If you start in that hollow hold and you build strength there, it's going to transfer a lot to that straight leg raise that we just talked about. But it's going to teach you to engage your abdominal muscles, keep your lower back flat on that ground, and actually use your abdominal muscles instead of your hips. It's a great base exercise. It's one that you can really progress to a lot of different ways. So with the hollow hold, a couple tips that I would recommend. Make sure that you focus on Starting off with whatever variation you're doing, whether it's a bent knee, straight leg, if you're adding weight to your hollow hold, make sure that your lower back is flat. We don't want that lower back to round up off the ground. We want lower back flat on the ground, pull your belly button down. Your shoulder blades are gonna be up off the ground, and your legs are gonna be anywhere from like 6 to 8 inches off the ground, and you're focusing on good, solid core contraction. So you can start off with this one with your knees bent in a tabletop position. You can go into a straight leg hollow body hold position, isometric, and then you can even progress it to where you're holding a plate overhead and add some resistance, which is really tough, but it's a really great core exercise. So here's what that looks like with your 3 different progressions. So the first one, bent knees, lower back is going to be nice and flat, shoulder blades are up. This is called a tabletop position. To progress this one, we have our hands overhead, straighten out those legs. Lower back is still flat, and then if that's still too easy, you can add a plate. It doesn't take a lot. This is just a 10-pound plate, and you can add that plate overhead. Now it's still the same position. Legs are straight, lower back is flat. And just focusing on actively breathing that entire set. So that is exercise number 2 in the 5 best core exercises. All right, exercise number 3. This is another great one. This is a good one to equal out your right and your left side. So a lot of times, especially in our core, we're gonna have an imbalance. We're gonna have one side that's stronger than the other. This is a really good one to make sure that our right side and our left side are both equally as strong. And this is one that you all have done. This is a variation of an exercise you all, I'm sure, have done before, but this just puts a good spin on that exercise. And this is a single arm plank. So with this one, instead of doing that double arm plank that everybody has done before, we're gonna throw it on its head, and we're gonna bring our arm in, and we're gonna go into a single arm plank. Now, you're very quickly gonna notice that this is obviously more challenging than that double arm plank. You're gonna bring your obliques into it. You're gonna really focus on the anterior core. Your lower back muscles are gonna start to work too as well. And that's one thing that I really look for in a core exercise, is we're not just doing sit-ups and crunches. We're doing exercises that are gonna strengthen our core. And our core, not just our abdominal muscles, our six-pack muscles that people think of. Our core muscles are made up of all the muscles that surround our spine and provide that support. And this is a really good one to strengthen your core, your entire core. So with this one, what you're gonna do, the wider the feet are, the easier this one is. The closer the feet are, the harder this one is. So from there, if you're starting off and this is really hard, get your feet out wide. If you want to challenge yourself, get your feet closer. You can even lift a leg, you can do all kind of crazy stuff. Get up on an exercise ball. The sky's really the limit, and that's another great reason why all of these exercises are good, is because they all can be progressed. There's always a progression that you can do that's going to make each exercise harder. So with this, start on the ground, get your feet set first. Actually, what I recommend for most people is actually get into a double arm plank first. You're going to center one arm up, and then you're going to straighten the other arm out to the side, or you can put it behind your back. But the goal when we do so is to not let our hips shift. We want to focus on keeping our hips and our shoulders forward, just like they would be in a double arm plank. So this is what that looks like. I'll start off feet about shoulder width. Get my feet set. Down on the elbows. From here, center my arm a little bit. Now fight that shift in the hips. And focus on your breathing. So obviously you want to make sure that you do the same amount of time on the right or left. If you do have an imbalance, that shows you very quickly which side is going to be stronger. So that's exercise number 3 in the 5 best core exercises. All right, exercise number 4 is going to be 4 and 5. We're going to have some rotation in those core exercises. So we've worked a lot of the anterior portion of our core. Now we need to work on the side. So we're going to have some rotation in the next 2. This one is a really awesome exercise because this has a good athletic spin on it. This is the Landmine Rotation punch, and this is one of my favorites. It's super athletic. It's not just doing like a side crunch. We're working our obliques directly and isolating them. It involves your legs, it involves your core, it involves your upper body, it involves coordination. It involves a lot of different things. That's just gonna further enhance your results rather than just doing a side crunch or something like that. This one's gonna give you a lot more bang for your buck. So with this exercise, we're starting off. The goal of, and really the function of your oblique, is to rotate and to laterally flex. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate from that core, and I want you to focus on that. I don't just want you to move from your arms on both of these next 2. We're not just moving our arms, we're focusing on rotating in the torso, and that's what's really gonna help your obliques fire, and that's what's really gonna help strengthen your obliques. So with this exercise, when we're starting off, we have a landmine setup. You can, if you don't have a landmine attachment, you could just put this into the corner, or you can put this into, if there's a piece of equipment that allows you to put it up against, you can even put it up against some plates just to keep that bar down so that you can load that bar. From there, you load a plate on. It doesn't take a lot of weight. This is a 25-pound plate. You can start off even lighter. I would recommend starting off with like a 10-pound plate at first. Get the motion down, get the coordination down, and then you can go from there. So with this exercise, what we're gonna do, you're gonna start off on evenly on both sides of that plate, and you're gonna focus on sitting your hips back, almost like a deadlift to start, and then hinging from your hips. And from there, what we're gonna do is you're gonna initiate the movement like a deadlift, pull, you're gonna high pull, almost like an upright row, and from there, you're gonna spin your feet, catch that bar, rotate the torso, and then punch through, and then reverse that motion. I'll show you what that looks like full speed. So this exercise is super athletic. It's a great power exercise, a great rotational exercise. One thing also that I'll recommend is when you do that high pull, keep that core nice and tight, rotate, and then make sure that you punch straight up. You don't want to punch out to the side, otherwise that's going to make you lose your balance. So, all right, so the fifth and final exercise in our top 5 core exercises is another rotational exercise. This is going to be the cable wood chop, another exercise that maybe you've done before, but this is going to be another one that's going to work our obliques on the side, and it's a really good exercise. It's slightly different from that, from the landmine rotational punch. If you don't have a landmine, this would be a good substitute that you could use, or if it's being used. But again, this exercise, we want to rotate from our torso. So we don't just want to move from the arms. We're focusing on keeping those arms locked out. And from here, we're rotating in the torso. Now there's, just like any exercise with curls, there's 5 different variations of curl that you can do that slightly work the muscle differently. With this one, same thing. You can work from a high to low pulley, you can work from a straight across, you can even work from a low to high pulley. With this one, I'm just going to show you a little bit higher to lower, but there's different variations that you can try. You can try your personal preference, see which one you like, or just spice it up with those 3 different variations. But like I said, with this exercise, focus on rotation. Start off light, get the form down first, and then you can add weight over time. So with this one, get your feet set first, good athletic stance, inside shoulder width. We're gonna grab that cable, and we're gonna focus on locking our arms out. So you're gonna flex your triceps. That's gonna lock those arms out. You're gonna take a little bit of a step out. Like I said, good athletic stance, and then from here, you're gonna initiate the movement by keeping your arms locked out, rotating your torso, and we're gonna work at an angle, almost like a plane landing. Working at a slight angle, working from high to low. So what it looks like. So this exercise is a really good one, like I said, for the obliques. Make sure you do the right and left. And this might be another exercise like the single arm plank, like the rotational punch, and the wood chop, where we have unilateral movements. We have the right side and the left side, where you may find that you have an imbalance from right to left. So that's something to keep an eye on to make sure that that doesn't get out of hand. So this is the 5th best core exercise. All right, everybody. So thanks for watching. This has been the 5 best core exercises. We went through, just to recap, we went through the leg raise, toe to bar, went through the hollow hold, went through the single arm plank, the landmine rotation punch, and then also the wood chop. All 5 of those exercises are great exercises, and another reason why I chose these 5, and there's a lot of good core exercises, but these are 5 of my favorites, is because, like I said, there can be some sort of progression on these. It's not like you're coming in and you're doing the same exact thing every time. If you're starting off on the pull-up bar, and maybe you can only hang on the pull-up bar, maybe you can't even lift your legs yet, the hollow hold is a great option to start off with to build core strength, kind of understand how your body works. And then from there, then you can go to that pull-up bar, and you can work on some hanging knee raises. And then you start to get better at that, and then you start to work on some straight legs, and then you start to work those feet up to the bar. So just like that exercise, there's some sort of progression, and then that is something where people always, they miss out on ab exercises. They pick something like a crunch, or a sit-up, or like a side bend. There's no progressive overload, there's no sort of progression on those exercises other than reps. And before you know it, you're doing 50, 75, 100 reps, and you could be doing something that's way more efficient with your time. So with your exercises in your abs, make sure that you are still doing exercises that are challenging you, that are mentally stimulating. And plus these exercises are kind of fun where they all have some good functionality to them, and some of them put a good athletic spin on your standard core exercises. And that just kind of makes it fun in the gym, and that's something that you got to focus on is you have to just make sure you're having fun with your workouts. So, like I said, this has been the 5 best core exercises. Stay tuned for other videos. We got workout reviews coming. We got full workouts. We got how-to videos coming. Things like pull-ups, muscle-ups, stuff like that. Full breakdowns of stuff like that. And yeah, just a lot of awesome videos coming soon. So check us out at fitgrindapparel.com. Use FitGrind for gym subs. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. That helps the channel grow. And I will catch you guys in the next video.